I love this deer ornament. He looks real and would look great in some winter decor. Y'all be on the lookout for these ornaments at the thrift stores or even after Christmas when you can get them for a really amazing price, because you can just take off the ornament hook and then you can just put them in your vignettes around the house and they look absolutely adorable. I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Here is a beautiful little wooden box cubby. It is missing the handle, but that is no big deal because I can definitely add something. And this spot is missing whatever was here, and that's also no big deal because I can add something to it and make it special. I really like the color of this wood, but it did have lots of dings and dents in it. So to make that look like a natural distressing, I just decided to distress it some more. I grabbed some sandpaper and I just sanded down all the edges. And this also really brought out the details of the piece. These are my favorite spindles. I get them from cutting down cribs, and I already cut this one to the perfect size for this little tote. Look how perfectly it fits, but I'm not liking the two wood tones. So I'm going to take this spindle and paint it white. I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Fluff. And once my chalk paint was dry, I distressed it with some sandpaper and a baby wipe. I think the combination of distressing with sandpaper and wet distressing gives it the most natural look. This is the IOD Bauble mold from the holiday release. It's ornaments, but they do have this one that looks like a label. So I made a resin casting of it, and I'm going to paint it the same color Dixie Belle Fluff that I painted the spindle. And you can find the resin, the molds, and the chalk paint on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com. I grabbed some paper and the IOD pastiche stamp. Y'all, this one came out over the summer and I have hardly gotten to use it. I feel like this one is going to be my most used stamp for the spring. They have these adorable cloches and birds and nests. So I'm going to be using these two birds. I grabbed the IOD black ink and stamped my paper, and look how good this came out. I love the vintage look of these stamps. I want to add these birds to my little resin label, so I'll grab the Fusion decoupage gel and I just put it in the center of the label, and I put the birds on top. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to take an X-Acto blade and just trim off all the excess. I've kind of been obsessed lately with making my own decoupage paper with IOD stamps. You can use white tissue paper. This time I decided to use a thicker handmade paper, and it looked just as good. Oh my gosh, y'all, look how good these came out. I love them. I grabbed my cordless Ryobi nail gun, best purchase ever. If you do not have one of these, I highly recommend it. I put the spindle on and I cut it so that way it was snug and I don't actually have to hold it while I'm nailing it. I can get it to the perfect placement and just nail it in, and it was as easy as that. Look how cute. Now it has a little handle. Now I'm going to take my label that I made and I'm just going to glue it on to my piece. I love the way this came out. The wood tone is perfect with the distressed white paint, and then the birds is just the cherry on top. Definitely I'm going to be on the lookout for some more totes like this. Y'all don't throw away those Amazon bags that I know y'all get in the mail every day. They are perfect for crafting. I'm going to open this one up and look how much product we have to work with. This is an old hymnal that I'm sure I got from the Goodwill bins, and this is also perfect for crafting. So I'm just going to pull one of the pages out, and then I'm going to take the Fusion decoupage gel and I'm going to glue it on to the Amazon bag. I cut the excess off with an X-Acto knife, and then I grabbed the IOD Gilded Tinsel Transfer. This came out for Christmas time, but y'all, there is plenty of stuff that you can use for winter and year round on this. So if you bought it for the holidays, take it out. We're going to keep using it. And I also still have some available on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com, and I will have a link in the description. I cut out the word joy and I took the transfer tool that comes with all of your transfers, and you just simply rub it and your image will transfer onto the piece. And I just love the combination of the gold with the music sheets. You could put this in a frame and that would be really pretty, but I decided to make some hanging art. I had this stick in my stash. It's wired and I find it looks kind of like old wire. So that is what I'm going to use. I put 2 holes at the top and I'm just going to weave the wire through it. I would love to hear y'all ideas on what you would do with these Amazon bags. So y'all drop y'all ideas in the comments below. If you do not know what Squarespace is, it is an online hosting platform, and that is who I chose to host my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com. Squarespace makes it so easy to create a website without any web design experience with their design intelligence program. They help you create a beautiful website with AI technology, as well as help you create beautiful and professional listings. And with Squarespace payments, they are making it easier than ever to accept all your payments in one place. There's so many different options for your customers to pay. And if you're a business, you know you need as many options for your customers as possible. So if you think you're ready to take your business to the next level, make sure you head to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you are ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/juliesdesignsandsigns to save 10% off your first purchase of your website or domain. For this project, I'm going to be using IOD air dry clay and IOD's vintage snowflake stamp. You get all of these different snowflakes in tons of different sizes. They have fully covered this stamp. I'm going to take my IOD air dry clay, I'm going to roll it up into a ball, and then I'm going to take my rolling pin and kind of flatten it out a little bit. Now you can totally flatten it out and then use a cookie cutter or something to make a perfect circle. I do want these to be a circle, but I am not looking for perfection. I'm really going for more of a handmade look here. So I'm just going to take it and just kind of shape it with my hands until it is the size and shape that I want. I'm going to take the snowflake stamps and I'm going to put them on top of the clay, and I'm going to use my rolling pin to roll them out to create an impression in the clay. And it's really quick and simple. I decided not to go in the center, but to go on the sides. And if you have any imperfections, the clay isn't cured yet, so you can move stuff around, you can fix things. And I'm using clay, but I think this would be really fun to do with cookies. And of course, you could roll it out to the size of the stamp and do the stamp in the center. This is just the design that I decided to do. I want to be able to add some string to these. You can wait till the clay dries and just drill a hole, but I just grabbed a dowel rod out of my stash and I'm going to poke holes into the clay while it's still wet. Also, while my clay is still wet, I'm going to add some sealer. I like to paint or seal my clay while it's still wet, and I find that really helps with the cracking and minimizing it. But I'm almost dry brushing on this Dixie Belle clear coat in a gloss finish, because what I want is to have 2 tones of finish here. So we're going to have a glossy finish from the Dixie Belle sealer, and then we're going to have a matte finish just from where I didn't put any sealer on and it's just the clay. I'm going to finish these off with some jute twine and some beads, but you could also use ribbon and raffia and lace and all sorts of different things. It just depends on the look you're going for. The first one, I didn't put any beads on it, and then I did the second one with beads, and I love that. So I ended up redoing the first one and adding more beads. These are just beads from a garland that I got at Christmas time. Walmart always comes out with these bead garlands that are only a few dollars. So I always scoop one up and add all those beads to my DIY stash. I think this is a project you could have a lot of fun with. I made hanging tags, but I think you could make ornaments, you could make garland, and you can even make pieces of art. There's endless possibilities with this. I have a piece of the Amazon bag left, so I absolutely wanted to come up with an idea for it. I decided to fold it in half, and I want the edges glued together. I didn't feel like plugging in my heat gun, so I had the decoupage gel out. I just used that to glue the edges together, and it worked perfectly. I cut a page in half from this vintage music sheet book, and I decoupaged it to my Amazon bag. I am absolutely loving the birds from the IOD pastiche stamp. So I'm going to take that stamp, and I was worried black ink wouldn't show against the black music letters. So I decided to use blue, the China blue ink instead. How adorable is that? So I want to turn this into a little pouch, a little purse. So I just put some holes at the top and added some lace to create handles for my bag. I felt like it needed a little something else, so I grabbed 2 of the feathers from the same pastiche stamp. I used the IOD black ink, stamped them on some paper, then I cut them out, added some jute twine to hang them onto the little handles that I created on the bag. I think these little bags are just so fun to make, and they would also make great gift bags for a gift card or even a small present. Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what is your favorite project. I am loving the music sheets with the gold, but I was so excited about how that wooden tote came out. It is so cute. I was planning on selling it, but I don't know. I might be keeping that one. I really loved it. So let me know what was your favorite project. And I'm sorry this video was a little bit shorter. I had more stuff planned, but it is winter break. And then my kids showed up at the house with a bunch of friends. So I just decided to wrap it up. And I think this will be my last video of 2024. Isn't that insane? We're about to get into January. And speaking of January, I have the colors of the month for January picked out, so let me go grab them. I am very excited for January's colors because it includes Acadian Pear, a brand new fusion color. It is beautiful. They have it in milk paint, and they just came out with it in the all-in-one paint. So the milk paint color of the month club is $29.99, and that does include shipping, and you get 4 different colors shipped straight to your door every single month. And if you want to try out the milk paint as well, I do have a club for that. Is the Milk Paint Plus Colors of the Month Club. So if you are interested in joining the Colors of the Month Club, I will have everything linked in the description. And if you're interested in starting your own website in 2025, y'all go check out squarespace.com/Julie's Designs and Signs and use my code to get 10% off your first website or domain. And I will also have that linked in the description. So once again, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all were inspired. I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas holiday, and I will see y'all next week for another DIY. Bye guys.